Hey everyone, ready to dive into some career inspiration?
Always ready.
Awesome. So today we're cracking open Chris Guillebeau's Born for This. You know, that book all about helping us figure out what work we were, well, born to do.
Yeah, it's a good one. Really gets you thinking.
Right. Like the whole idea that there's this perfect intersection out there somewhere where our skills and passions actually meet a real need in the world. That's exciting stuff.
It is. And you know what I really appreciate about Guillebeau's approach? He kind of throws that whole one perfect career path idea out the window.
Yeah, that rigid ladder climbing thing.
Exactly. Instead, he's all about encouraging us to embrace, those unexpected turns life throws at us. Like, hey, maybe that detour is actually leading you somewhere amazing.
It's like that story he tells about the circus worker.
Oh, yeah. The one who ends up designing circus-themed t-shirts.
That's the one. It's wild how they tried all sorts of things, both in and out of the circus before landing on something that really clicked. It really makes you wonder, have any of you experienced something similar? Like you thought you were headed in one direction, but then boom, a detour led you to work you actually love.
I get a lot of people listening have a story like that. And, Guillebeau builds on that idea of finding your unique path with this concept he calls the job lottery.
The job lottery. Okay, so we're not talking about winning millions and never working again, right?
No, nothing like that. It's more about designing a work life that hits this sweet spot. He calls it the joy, money, flow sweet spot.
Joy, money, flow. Okay, I'm intrigued. Break that down for us.
So joy is pretty straightforward. It's about loving what you do, feeling that genuine excitement and fulfillment from the work itself. Money, well, that's about having financial stability, right? The freedom to do the things you care about. And then flow.
Flow state, that magical feeling when you're totally in the zone. Love it.
Exactly. Time melts away, you're completely absorbed in what you're doing. That's flow.
But here's the thing, right? Not everyone needs the same balance of those three things.
You got it. It's super personal. Some people might prioritize joy above all else, while others might need a bit more emphasis on the money side of things.
Makes total sense. So it's all about figuring out what your priorities are.
Exactly. It's like, take a minute, think about your current job, or maybe even that dream job you've been fantasizing about. Where do you fall on that joy, money, flow spectrum? Do any of them need a little boost?
That's a great question to ask yourself. And speaking of things that can make or break a job, even if it seems perfect on paper, Guillebeau doesn't shy away from talking about working conditions.
Oh, for sure. Working conditions matter.
Because even the most exciting job can become a total drag if you're stuck in a toxic environment, or if the schedule is totally unsustainable.
Absolutely. And he gives this really practical framework for thinking about working conditions. He says to consider things like schedule flexibility, the social environment, and how much autonomy you have versus how much oversight you prefer.
So like, are you a solo worker or a team player? Do you crave structure or do you need lots of freedom?
Exactly. And think about your physical workspace too. Are you a thrive in the office type or more of a work from anywhere kind of person?
So many factors to consider. It really highlights how much our work environment impacts our overall happiness, wouldn't you say?
Totally. It's a huge piece of the puzzle.
It makes me wonder, what would your deal breakers be? Even if a job sounds amazing, what kind of work environment would just make you dread coming in every day?
That's something everyone should think about. Know your non-negotiables. And, along with that, Guillebeau points out that fear can be a major roadblock for people trying to find work they love.
Oh, absolutely. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of making the wrong choice. Those anxieties can be paralyzing.
They really can. And to help us combat that fear, he proposes this idea of a career insurance policy.
Ooh, a career insurance policy.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's brilliant, really. It has three main components: a strong network of supporters, a diverse range of income streams, and, get this, living below your means to create a financial cushion.
So it's not about leaping without a net. It's about building a safety net as you go.
Exactly. It's about taking smart risks.
I like that. But how do we actually build this career insurance policy? What would those three components look like in real life?
Well, when it comes to building a strong network, you might consider joining some professional organizations or online communities, maybe attending industry events, even just reaching out to people you admire and asking for a quick informational interview can be super helpful.
And for diversifying income, maybe you develop multiple skills you can offer or explore passive income streams like creating online courses or digital products. even having a solid side hustle can make a big difference.
For sure. It's all about having multiple options, right? Not putting all your eggs in one basket.
And then that last one, living below your means, even if it's just a little bit, that can give you the financial breathing room to take risks and try new things without feeling like you're constantly on the edge.
Absolutely. It gives you that freedom to experiment.
So the takeaway here is, fear is natural, but it shouldn't be calling the shots.
Right. We don't want fear to be the driver.
Out of those 3 strategies we just talked about, which one resonates with you most? And what's one tiny step you could take today to address a fear that might be holding you back? Even something small can make a difference.
It all starts with that first step. And as you start thinking about possibilities, Guillebeau encourages us to really think outside the box when we're identifying our skills. Like, don't limit yourself to just your formal education or job titles.
Right. He uses that example of the data scientist who might assume they can only do number crunching jobs when they probably have a whole bunch of other skills they could be leveraging.
Exactly. It's about uncovering those hidden talents.
And to do that, he suggests making 2 lists. One list is everything you excel at. And I mean everything, not just work-related skills.
Yep, even those seemingly random things you're good at, they could be valuable.
And then the second list is everything you dislike doing or things you struggle with.
Because let's be honest, we're probably not going to magically become amazing at something we hate.
True. So focus on your strengths, the things that energize you and come naturally.
Exactly. Play to your strengths.
And here's where it gets really interesting. It's about connecting those skills to a real need in the world. Like, what problems do you see around you that you're uniquely equipped to solve? Who's already coming to you for help with certain things?
Because that's when things start to click. You realize, hey, I actually have something valuable to offer. And to test those skills out in the real world, to get some feedback and build momentum, Guillebeau has this awesome idea called the 100 People Project. So with this 100 People Project, it's really simple but powerful.
Okay, so what is it exactly?
Basically, it's offering up your skills or services, but for free and to 100 people in your network.
Oh, so you're using your network as a testing ground.
Yeah, exactly. You get to refine your skills and get feedback. Less pressure than creating some perfect product right out of the gate.
Right, you're kind of easing your way in.
Yeah, and you can experiment and iterate and learn as you go.
I love that.
It really helps build confidence, too. So many people think, okay, this sounds great, but like, I just want to ditch my job and just go all in.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Guillebeau actually urges some caution against that.
Which makes sense. You don't want to just quit without a plan.
Right, like that can be pretty risky.
Yeah.
So he suggests that people build up a side hustle first.
So you're kind of working towards that dream project in the evenings and weekends while you still have your main income.
Yeah. He recommends people dedicate like an hour a day to it.
An hour a day.
Yeah. Just to plan, research, take small steps, and be consistent.
That feels so much more doable than trying to change everything all at once.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all about making a path that you can actually sustain. Guillebeau also challenges that, traditional idea of job hunting.
Because let's be real, sending out resumes can be so demoralizing.
It is. And he thinks people should be more proactive.
More proactive.
And actually just create your own job.
Hold on, create your own job. How do you even do that?
So you basically identify a need within a company, like a gap in their services.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, or like a trend they're not addressing. And then you pitch them on a position that doesn't even exist.
So you're basically like, hey, you need this, and I'm the person to do it.
Yep. You show them how your skills can add value to their organization.
I love that. Like, you're taking control.
It is. It's empowering. So think about it. Have you ever seen a gap like that at your work?
Ooh, good question. What about creatives, though? Like artists and writers?
Oh, yeah, people who are outside that corporate world.
Does Guillebeau talk about that?
He does. He puts a lot of emphasis on self-management and promotion.
Which makes sense, especially now when creatives can reach their fans directly.
Right. He tells creatives to build their own platform, connect with fans, and look at all the ways they can make money.
So things like selling work directly, crowdfunding.
All of that.
It's about ownership, not waiting for someone to discover you.
Exactly. And something else I really like is that Guillebeau doesn't believe you have to just pick one career and stick with it forever.
Oh, that's a relief.
Right. Like, it's okay if our passions change.
Yeah, we change and grow.
He calls that work shifting.
No.
It's like you can intentionally switch between different projects or incomes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like it's almost like you've got this portfolio of different passions and skills you can use.
That makes so much sense. It's like that example in the book with the landscaper.
Oh yeah, the one who writes screenplays in the winter.
Yes, or like the boxing coach who also does relationship coaching.
Right. It's all about those unique connections between our interests.
And it keeps things interesting too.
For sure. And that brings us back to that main idea in Born for This.
Okay.
It's not about that final destination, it's about enjoying the whole journey.
All the twists and turns.
The ups and the downs.
It's like the whole experience shapes us.
Exactly.
Right.
So be open to new possibilities and don't be afraid to experiment.
I love that. So to wrap up our deep dive, I want to leave everyone with this question.
Okay.
What is one thing that you've always wanted to try, but you just haven't made time for?
Yeah, like what's that dream that you keep pushing to the back burner? It might be a little scary to start, but once you do, you just get that momentum going.
And sometimes that's all you need, that little push.
Right. Like, what can you do this week to get started?
Yeah.
Even if it's just 15 minutes to brainstorm or do a Google search.
Maybe reach out to someone for advice.
Yeah, exactly. Those little steps can make a huge difference.
So it sounds like the big takeaway from Born for This is that we really do have the power to create work that we love.
We absolutely do.
It might not always be easy, but like it'll be so worth it in the end.
It really will. And like we talked about, finding fulfilling work isn't about getting to some finish line.
It's about the journey itself.
Yeah, it's about growing, learning, and really letting our work be a reflection of who we are.
I love that. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into Born for This.
This was a great one.
It really was. And for everyone listening, I hope this has sparked some inspiration, maybe even giving you a few ideas to play with.
Yeah. Remember, there's no one right way to do this. You get to create a path that feels right for you.
So keep seeking, keep exploring, and keep creating. Thanks for joining us on this journey. And until next time, keep those knowledge fires burning.
If you like what we do, please like and subscribe to our channel. This is all for today. See you in the next episode.